Sports Talk Radio, KLGN Logan, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Welcome back to Skyview High School. It's 35-27, the final. Skyview starts off the 2020 campaign with a 35-27 victory over Stansbury. They led 28-0 after one quarter. Got a little bit nervous up here in the stands and in the press box. But Skyview with the win, 35-27 over Stansbury. John Newbold here with you, Rex Davis as well, Cody Olson, our producer back in the studio.
Sorry, John, I'm playing with stats.
Okay, so Rex is adding up the stats there, but as we mentioned, Skyview got up to that big 28-0 lead and then had to hang on at the end, 35-27. And so here on the postgame show, I want to thank all our sponsors, but McDonald's is the sponsor of our player of the game. And tonight, our player of the game, we're going to go with Isaac Larson, will be the McDonald's player of the game. McDonald's, visit your local McDonald's today for pickup and drive-through in Smithfield, Logan, South Logan, Hiram, Brigham City, and Tremont. Isaac Larson had 3 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown, a 48-yard touchdown in the first quarter. And he also had a 16-yard pick six in his Skyview debut, so he will be our McDonald's player of the game.
I've called 3 games that Isaac Larson's been a part of, and he's been the player of the game all 3 times.
Well, then you're biased.
I must be. I'm telling you, I've never seen a kid cover receivers as well as Isaac Larson does. I said it a couple times in the game, but if you are an Aggie fan, get excited about this kid because he's coming up. He's going up there to Merlin Olsen Field.
All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing we're going to talk about is the Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game, traditional favorites to make everyone feel like life is normal. You can visit them at Smithfield, Logan, Brigham City, and Ogden with their amazing lunch, bagels, sandwiches, soups, scones, and sweet rolls. The Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game, it's going to be that defensive stop. Walter Collins had a stop on first down, then Evan Hall a sack, then Thor Griffin and Evan Hall another sack to bring up fourth down and a punt by Stansbury. That will be the Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game, is that defensive stop, that series there by the 3 defenders. So tune in to the full court press on Monday with Eric Franson and Ajay Salveson from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and at some point during that 2 hours, they will ask you to call in, and if you can call in and identify, if they say it's the first caller or the fourth caller, whatever they say, and you can call in and identify the bread and butter play of the game by the Old Gristmill, and it was the Walter Collins stop, that defensive stop that sealed the game for the Bobcats on that last series. Collins had a stop, Evan Hall sacked, then Thor Griffin and Evan Hall on the sack. And you identify it with Eric and Ajay during the full court press. When they ask for it, you could win 4 loaves of bread with the bread and butter Old Gristmill play, bread and butter play of the game. So Skyview escapes 35-27. Other games going on. Salem Hills defeats Mountain Crest 34-8, and we've got Walter Collins up here, so we'll talk about the scores later. So as we get Coach up here and Walter Collins, we'll just talk about it. So Walter Collins tonight, let's see, we've got you, Walter, 17 carries, 80 yards, a touchdown. And you also had 2 receptions for 29 yards. And then you had that big defensive hit there at the end that kind of sealed the game for you guys. Talk about what you saw out of Stansbury. You got off to a big lead, and then your defense had to seal the game. What was that like in the second half? You guys kind of were on your heels there.
Yeah, it was tough. They're definitely a tough team. We're more a second half team. Sadly, we should be more of a 4-quarter team, but so we got to focus on going 4 quarters and not let them come back that close.
Well, Walter, how great was it to be back on the field? It's been a while since the state championship. I mean, how great was it to be back on the football field?
It was fantastic. I hope we just got to keep going.
Yeah. Talk about offensively, you guys got off to that great start in the first quarter. I mean, everything was clicking. What did you see from your perspective at running back there?
The holes were opening up, and we were just executing that what we should have.
So defensively, what do you guys need to improve from game 1 to game 2 as you have Bonneville next week?
Just knowing assignments. That was what we struggled with. Everyone's running wrong ways or something like that.
Okay. Well, you've beaten Stansbury. You want to keep the momentum going. You guys just got to work. I mean, with all the craziness going on with the COVID virus and everything, as a senior, what do you need to do to help guys realize that, hey, you guys, even though the rules that are set in place, some of them we don't agree with maybe, what do you got to do to just keep that focus off the field too to prevent games getting canceled, for instance?
Just realize not only for the seniors but for everyone, this is could be our last season, especially the seniors. Mm-hmm. So we just want everyone to focus on that and help the seniors out.
Well, Walter, congratulations. Great first victory for you guys, and you're going to keep grinding. But who would you like to give a shout-out to?
Just our coaches for preparing us for this win.
All right. Well, congratulations, Walter, and thanks for taking the time to come out tonight.
Thank you.
So the Bobcats, again, that was Walter Collins. Plays linebacker and also running back. He sealed the game as part of the defensive backfield there. And now we're joined by Coach Hal. Coach, great start for you guys. 28-0 the first quarter. It looked like you guys were going to run away with it. And then the next thing you know, it's like second half came and seemed like your guys just were on their heels for the rest of the game.
Yeah, obviously we've got to give those Stansbury credit. That's a really good football team. They have a lot of experience, especially on offense coming back. Mm-hmm. That community, that program has never been, a kind of a quitting team. And it was the first quarter, and they knew that. They knew there was a lot of game left to play, and they continued to fight back. And their tempo is really hard. Mm-hmm. We have a number of guys going both ways, and we're trying to rotate some guys, and we rotate, and then they go fast, and it gets you out of sorts, and that's when you make mistakes. And we made a lot of mistakes on defense tonight. But the great thing is we made enough plays early to kind of get us going, and then we made, the fourth quarter we played pretty good defense. Mm-hmm. We forced them to our guys to gave our offense a short field to work with. We didn't come away with points, but you know what? We took time off the clock, kept the field long for them, and then right there at the end, our kids made some great plays.
Well, and Coach, I don't know if you have an answer for this, and you probably shouldn't, but I'm going to ask anyways. That 52-yard field goal by Erickson, the attempt, he's got the leg. And when he kicked that ball, it was so down the middle. We thought it was good. We called it good. Yeah. How does that ball stop? You guys got to take down a net or something down there, man.
Yeah, it was just a little bit short. But you know what? He kicked it 57 the other day in practice, and so that gives you another great weapon. Yeah. Obviously a little bit different when the bullets are flying, but he's the best kicker around in our opinion, and we're going to continue to run him out there in those situations because he gives us our best chance to score points.
For sure. And like Rex pointed out, that in high school, it's worth the risk of kicking those because they get the ball at the 20 even if he does miss. So it's like a punt.
Absolutely. We're gaining field position, and so it's an important part of the kicking game, and we have all the faith in the world in him, and more opportunities he gets, the more likelihood is that he's going to succeed.
So as you mentioned, as a coaching staff, you got a lot of film to look at, a lot of things to correct with this team. What are the biggest takeaways that you really liked from your team tonight, though?
Our never say die attitude. It was ugly there through the whole third quarter on both sides of the ball. We couldn't stop them, and we couldn't get a first down. And our kids didn't quit. They continued to fight. And, when we needed to make some plays, we made them. We needed a first down. We got it. We needed to switch field position. Offensively, we got it. We needed a couple stops on defense. We got them. These kids are tough, and they're resilient, and we have a lot of guys on both sides of the ball playing new positions. That's not an excuse; it's a fact. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of cleaning up and a lot of work to do, and we'll do it. And that's what game one is for: is to give you a barometer for where you're at. And now we know where we're at, and we'll go to work addressing it.
Well, Coach, you've got Bonneville coming in next week. Do you know much about their program?
No clue. Okay. We watched them a little bit on film last year. It seems like when they maybe played Green Canyon or somebody, but I know nothing about them. So we'll watch some film, we'll get ready to go, and I know our kids will be excited and they'll be ready to go as well.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time and congratulations on getting the first one under your belt.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. Had a great crowd. It was super fun. Just a little bit different, but everybody showed up and supported these kids, and we love it.
All right. Well, congratulations, Coach. Again, Skyview wins 35-27, and they go to 1-0 on the season. So,
thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
The Bobcats 35-27. Some final stats of the game, Rex, that you want to point out?
Yeah, Adam Sherwood, our stat guy, did a good job on these stats. These stats are brought to you by Larry Smithfield Pharmacy. Kason Carlson finished the night 19 of 34, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions thrown, so no big mistakes made by the senior quarterback. Rushing the ball, Kason Carlson 27 yards, Walter Collins 80 yards, the young man that came up and just talked with us, he had a touchdown rushing as well. Titan Saxton 2 carries for 7 yards. Over on the side of receiving, Titan Saxton 3 catches, 44 yards. Walter Collins 2 grabs for 29. Trey Nyman 2 catches, 5 yards. He had the big drop down the field. Nobody was more upset about that than Trey. Isaac Larson 3 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown. Luke Radford 1 catch for 2 yards and a touchdown. Cole Watterson a catch for 12 yards. Hunter Lewis, double-digit tackles. I'm telling you, John, I'm expecting close to double-digit, if not double-digit tackles out of Hunter Lewis every single game. The kid is just an absolute beast at linebacker, and I'm excited to see what he does with the season. Evan Hall came up with a sack, a couple tackles. Kimball Jackson had a fumble recovery that was caused by Blake Bishop. Peja Prom had some tackles tonight. Porter Jackson had a tackle. Isaac Larson had a couple, and the interception that went for a touchdown. Great overall effort by Skyview. And like I said right as the game ended, I think that was a good test for him. I think the fact that they barely squeaked out that win is good for Skyview. I think that's good for them mentally to understand that, yeah, we're the defending state champs, but this is a lot different team, and we got to work just as hard, if not even harder, than last year to make that happen.
So again, Bobcats 35-27. We'll go ahead and read off some other finals. Salem Hills defeats Mountain Crest 34-8 in Hiram. Bear River was at Juan Diego 38-20 over Juan Diego. But the big news there is Josh Payne, their star quarterback, left the game with it looked like a terrible knee injury. He left the game in the first quarter, I think. But Bear River wins 38-20. Green Canyon was ahead of Tooele 35-13 at the end of 3. Ridgeline defeated Pineview 42-38, and Provo defeats Logan at Crimson Field 14-7. Again, our player of the game, McDonald's player of the game, is Isaac Larson. 3 catches, 69 yards, and a TD. And he had the 16-yard pick 6 in his Skyview debut. And the Old Gristmill bread and butter play of the game will be the defensive stand at the end of the game, where the Bobcats had a Walter Collins tackle for a loss, then an Evan Hall sack, a Thor Griffin and Evan Hall sack to bring up 4th down that forced Stansbury to punt, and Skyview then ran out the clock. So remember to call in to the Full Court Press Monday with Eric Franson and Ajay Salveson on the Full Court Press Monday between 4 and 6. And they'll ask for the bread and butter, the Old Grits Mill bread and butter play of the game. And if you can be their caller that they designate and ask and get the correct answer, the defensive stop by Skyview, then you can win 4 loaves of bread from the Old Grits Mill. So for Cody Olson, our producer, we appreciate all that he did keeping us on the air. From Rex Davis, Adam Sherwood, our stats man, and for myself, John Newbold, have a great evening. Skyview will be back on the air next Friday around 6:45 as they host the Bonneville Lakers, and we'll have that game for you right here on 1390 AM and 106.9 The Fan. Have a great weekend, everybody.